Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tales of the Skytorn. I am your host and GM, Brandon Ross, and surrounding me at my lovely virtual tabletop is a bunch of my nerdy friends who strangely keep coming back to play D&D with me. I don't know why, but I'll try to be a worse or better GM at what I do. I don't know why they keep coming back. I couldn't tell you.
It's for the hair. It's for the hair.
For the hair. It is.
Yep.
Either that or we're all masochists. One of them.
Who knows? I just
Both?
know that I get to have fun telling a story, and they get to have fun telling their character's story, and that's what matters, is having fun. Before we dig too deep in our episode, really quick, I'm going to do some, again, fast announcements for our social medias, because I do want to get into the game. I'm trying to have a harder focus on that for my players and all of you lovely community members out there to get more story for you. So on the screen, as you can see, we have a road to 200. When we get there will be a fantastic giveaway, which you will be seeing a social media post about exactly what it is tomorrow. I've got a couple of pictures I've been editing and getting together that I'll pass off to my social media team and social media team manager. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she handles those pictures and posts. It's going to be interesting, but just know we've got some great things lined up for you. Speaking of our socials, you can catch us on many platforms. Miss Kelly, if I forget any, please feel free to chime in, but I know we definitely have our lovely Instagram, we have our TikTok page, we do have a Facebook page, and we do have our Twitter page as well. All these things will help you keep up to date with all the things we do, and also we share random tidbits here and there. So it's a lot of good fun. Kelly, did I forget anything?
Nope. Not that I could think of other than the OnlyFans, but you told me we gotta stop.
We got shush.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I don't know about that. No, let's just.
But I really want to see the men a PhD calendar created. Jesus Christ.
Nobody wants to see that.
Everybody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Aside from our socials, we of course have our lovely Discord. Feel free to come join us there. And if you love D&D as much as we do, then we also have a lovely West Marches Discord we are also with from when we have our lovely friends at Twisted Perceptions when they came on board with us. It is a West Marches server that is at 200 plus growing. Is that correct, everybody, I believe?
Yes.
Yes.
I will actually give you the exact number.
It's 260 something.
260 something members who just love to come play D&D.
For some reason, I looked at it today. It's like 268.
That's incredible. So if you love D&D as much as all those amazing people, feel free to check them out as well. You can get that link from our Discord server link you will see in our chat.
Discord.
I know, right?
Discord.
The Discord. It disses you when you attack.
I need that.
Beyond that, there are a couple new commands in our chat. I have generalized our Circle of the Chat guidance command to where you now enter the player's name. So right now, no one has any guidance on them. I allow my players to hold 3 guidance with them. So if you have some of those juicy channel points you want to get rid of, feel free to feed them into that option. I did carry over the DM Bane. I still have it right here in my hand. So when that happens, don't forget about that, players. If you need me to re-roll a D20 roll, and hopefully you get a lower roll or a higher roll, depending on what you want, you can feel free to use that. It is on the table. Beyond that, we do have a couple more projects coming up shortly. I can't wait to announce them, but not ready for that just yet. The last thing I will say is that I will kind of bring something about from our... Oh, look at that. Already killing the channel points. Love it.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we help the party members, not ourselves?
As long as it's not yourselves, I
Okay.
will allow
Alright,
it. Because you just sit...
couldn't do
I know,
it.
and you guys just sit there and stare at your channel points, so feel free to get them
really
used
do.
up.
I just realized how much I had.
But
Holy crap.
it will be on you players to keep track once you get to 3. So just let me know.
I wanted to give everyone at least one.
I got the important one.
Nice. I will say I'm going to bring back another fun thing I did from last campaign, and I will offer up this D20 to whoever wishes to do the recap. Ooh, any takers?
Screw it. I'll do it. All right.
Yay.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
So, first things first. Ava Starlight actually stayed inside of the Capitol, doing God knows what, who knows where, with who and what. So we don't really know at the moment where she is.
Secrets and lies, secrets and lies.
Secrets and lies, secrets and lies.
Um, the doc actually got a job, and he is currently on his way back to the rest of us. Well, supposedly job. Who knows? Maybe just dismembering more bodies without actually realizing that they were alive once. Who knows? Secondly, you have Eliza, Drac, and Red, who went around to the farms and found a hole, made the Gator Express, and currently in the process of heading back over to one of the other farms to figure out what exactly is going on, if anything. And that, I believe, is a proper recap. If anybody else wants to add in anything that I may have missed.
All right, depending upon the table's decisions, you earn a d20.
I think he's good.
Yep, I'd say so.
All right, do you want me to roll it now, or do you want it to roll it later when you use it?
Oh, that is actually a good question.
I
Damn.
know.
Calculator's rated RNG right now.
I'm trying to give
Tick
everybody
tock, tick
points,
tock,
and it's
tick
not
tock,
working
tick
for me.
tock.
I only got red.
Ah.
I keep typing in everybody's name. It's like, no.
You get one name at a time.
We'll hold off until later.
Okay, I will keep it to the side in a special place right here, so I know I have it for you.
Okay.
All right, with that, let's get into, I believe everybody except for Eva and the doctor had managed to get back to the apothecary. Is that correct?
I
Nope.
am on
Went back.
screen.
You
Yeah,
are.
Doc went back before
Doc
me.
is en route. That's correct. Is there anything?
We were going to the neighbors.
Yes.
That's right. You were.
Mhm.
You decided to go there first. So as you make your way to which family were you going to?
I know Elysia said something about going to the neighbors that nothing had happened to him yet to be like, hey, something. And then they taught. Then Drax and Red also said something about going to see the moth scales.
Yep.
Correct.
The Mosque.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
Green Dragonborn family. You're a
Yes,
bit familiar
and
with.
everything. So I think we're kind of like deciding which ones to go to. I just know we're just gonna look and see if
Okay.
there's
They
more
are
clues.
in two different paths. One is
Mhm.
further to the west. One's a little more east. So you're gonna need to make that choice.
Is there anyone that is closer to the apothecary?
Closest to the apothecary would be closest to where you are now, which is to the east towards the moss scale kind of ranchlands.
Okay. I mean, are we good with the moss scales? Or
Yeah.
do you really want to go visit the other ones?
Well, I mean, if we don't get everybody and everything, like I said, nothing's happened to the other family, but just kind of give them a heads up, which I'm sure already considering the fact that news is probably spread. They're probably over there thinking like, oh, hey, we need to be a little bit more protective. These two other big families got hit, but, if definitely closer, we can go there. I just
mean-
don't know how well that's gonna go considering it's just the day after the death and, that stuff kind of his
My
mother was
only-
already kind of like zoning out and yeah.
My only concern is we know there's probably some hole there already. We don't know for certain about the other family.
Yes.
We don't even know if the other family.
Also, well, see, that's also my question too. We don't know if there's a hole there, but what was the people that we saw like their names who came to visit the Collins?
That would have been the Ilrum family. ILLRUUM, and you would have some general
Yeah.
knowledge of them, Elysia. You would
Okay.
know that
Um,
family is kind of the
Yeah.
generationally the oldest family of
Okay.
the ranch lands.
Yeah, there's the possibility that the ill room might have visited them. I don't know. But you guys decide and I'll just put you in the right direction.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I think we should go to the place where we know that there's probably a hole so that we can
Yeah.
have them board it up.
Yeah, it's just also, like I said, they may not be in a talking or answering door mood. But we can try. So if that happens, we could just maybe ask to see their land, say we found a hole and, you know.
Well,
I
we
would
know the
think it
direction
wa-
that the pipe goes down, so definitely, by all means, we should go, and hopefully there is no other hole. And
Hold DM, I have a question.
Sure. What you got?
Um Drax there. Drakus, he saw you last episode, cannot remember for the life of me and stuff like that. But you said that the tunnel looked like it was heading in which direction?
Based off the direction that everybody traveled when you came back out, you can see it's, for the most part, a generally direct line. If you followed it until you thought there was an end, it would lead you to the edge of the island.
Okay, so would it be east, west? Like, is there the possibility that the tunnel went under a certain family's house or property?
It looked like it mostly headed um, south by southeast.
Okay. All right, continue. Sorry, I was just wondering that.
so we should head out. Let's go.
We
Yeah.
should.
And he's gonna start walking in that general direction until somebody starts pointing him off into one of the actual houses.
Well, which house are we going to?
Do you follow the direction of the tunnel, or are you going to go towards the moss scales?
That is.
Drac really wants to follow the tunnel.
I kind of do too.
Okay,
Are
you're
we
welcome to. I'm just.
so
I
what's
need
the
to make
tunnel?
sure.
He wants to, but he also wants to make sure the fact that everybody's fine. So it's a very hard decision. Damn you,
Okay,
sir. You
okay.
know why it's a hard decision for him.
Okay. How about this? I kind of want to follow the tunnel too. We can do that later because I doubt very likely. Yes, this part might get filled in, but as Elysia kind of starts drawing, like she's already got her journal out and everything, she's like drawing where the hole is and stuff like that. We can possibly come back tomorrow and just follow it if we run out of time.
Good point. Maybe we'll actually have everybody. Then let's just go over to them.
Okay. You head over to the Moss Scale Ranchlands. It's not terribly far. At a simple pace, you get there in about 45 minutes to hour 15, depending how slow or fast you want to go. But at a certain point, you do come to another, not large, not super elaborate, just a property division fence. You hop over, continue to head in, and Elysia, are you guiding them towards where you know the house to be, or are you going to guide them kind of over the lands themselves?
I'm not going to be in anybody's lands that does not know that I'm there, so I'm going to guide them to the house. I'm getting permission first, okay?
Okay. As you're heading that way, I would say, Elysia, you do see, not too far off in the distance, after a little bit more walking, you can see what looks to be a couple of homes. But then off to the south, you see what looks to be about 2 or 3 individuals heading in generally the party's direction on horseback.
Okay,
What do these individuals look like?
Yeah, can I see if I can see them? Like, how far are they?
They're about 100, 200 feet off. If you
Well,
want to,
there's
if,
yeah,
once you point them out to the party.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I if they get whenever they get a little bit closer, I'm just gonna see and I'm gonna be like, well, there's some people heading our way.
Okay, give me perception checks, please.
Okay.
Oh no, that's an 8. I rolled a 2.
Hey, that's a 2!
Well, it's a good thing I'm here, darlings. It's an 18.
I would laugh if it was a 28 because it would just be on both our rolls
Yeah.
together combined.
Yeah, that is very true.
Okay, so as they are coming up, you can kind of see Red. You hone in and kind of looking down a bit. You can see that looks to be just 3 farmhand type individuals. All of them some kind of humanoid creature. No dragonborn here. And as they get a bit closer, you can see their path was one direction, but they kind of tracked the lot of you, and they can see they shift directions. And what you can see as they get closer is just 3 human individuals, plainly dressed. All of them probably about anywhere from 25 to 35 in age. And they just begin to kind of gallop, not like charging, but like, cantering up to the 3 of you.
Like they're trying to catch up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Should we talk to them? I mean, seems like they want to talk to us.
Yeah, and
Drac
essentially,
is
I
just
think
going
if
to
we
wave.
go anywhere, they're gonna follow us, and I can totally understand. It might just be like, oh, especially considering the fact of that one family showing up, they could have possibly hit up this family and trying to. I don't know. We'll find out.
We will. It'll be all
Drax
right.
is just waving at the time, like as the 2 of them are just like, "What should we do? I don't know." He's just like, "Hi, yes, I'm here. Hello."
And after just a few moments, they do catch up to you, and they stop on the horses about 25, 30 feet away.
Mhm.
And then that's when they gallop. They do gallop a bit closer. And the one kind of in the middle, dark shaggy hair, simple brown tunic and trousers, boots. Again, just what you would imagine a farmhand would look like. A little more rough and tumble, dirty, sweat kind of on the brow. And you can see there is like a simple, almost like, I wouldn't say like a whip, but like a thicker leather strap, probably used to keep cattle from drifting too far away, just like snapping the lead in the air.
Okay.
Would I recognize any of them?
You would not.
Okay.
But the one that seems to be kind of a bit older and was riding center gets a bit closer. Evening. Can I help you?
Yes, we just came over from the Collins. They had a bit of trouble with their harvester, and we were checking out a hole, and we also seen where we were just coming to check on the moss scales and see if I know considering what happened, they're probably not too worried, but there seems to be a tunnel underground and we were just wondering if there's any more tunnels in these lands and if there's any way we could possibly help out.
Help out with digging more tunnels?
No,
No,
no.
it appears that the sharks may have been drawn through tunnels to attack certain farms.
There was
At
meat in the
least-
tunnel.
Right.
I got a femur from it, and she pulls it out of her bag.
Good.
Pulls it off.
Goods.
Right. So we kind of want to see if there's one here so that we can plug it up, put somebody near it so that nothing else happens.
That's a femur.
She puts it back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was in there, mixed in the meat and everything.
Most people don't like bones, Alicia dear.
I think
Most
a
people
lot
are
of
made of
you
bones.
should go back the way you came.
Well, we can go back the way we came. Not have warned you of the fact that there may be a tunnel underneath the house. You
Right.
guys find out that you have a shark, the cloud shark, in the middle of the land. Hopefully,
Um,
I'm not saying the fact that's
uh,
what happened, but
um,
hopefully it doesn't happen and you guys are safe. Nothing to worry about.
um, listen, we'll go back. We don't want to push our luck and possibly, cause any distress. Um, but I mean, I don't know who you are. I don't know if you help the land and everything, but if you could possibly keep an eye out.
Right, or maybe pass word along that this is a possibility that there may be a hole from a tunnel on their land, or maybe look for it yourself. We're just dropping by in the interest of avoiding further catastrophe.
Well, okay.
Can I insight him?
Sure. What are you trying to discern?
If the fact that I brought out the femur like made him even
Yes.
more,
Yes.
Sure.
or if like he like automatically had an issue, like they were set there to like get people off the land, or not,
Roll an insight
or
check.
if all right, 23.
Oh goodness.
23, you gather that yeah, he was particularly spooked. The directly after the femur was shown. It's not exactly common someone just yanks a femur out from a mostly fresh corpse.
I'm sorry about the femur. I don't.
Just please go.
We're gonna go.
Thank you.
I am sorry
That
about that.
If you do find any holes, please let us know. We already found one over on the other land.
sure.
Okay.
You know, if there is something else that ends up happening, God's forbid, you're going to feel really guilty if you don't check.
It's fine. Let's go. There's nothing more we can say, and hopefully these gentlemen,
Gentlemen, let's go.
Jack is just going to follow behind the two of them.
Mhm.
As a precaution.
The three individuals just watch until you guys get about 100, 150 feet away, and then you see them go about their business.
He's going to turn to look back, and when he sees them go back, he's just like, in all honesty, if something does turn out to happen here, I don't know if I would actually feel bad right now. Because Dree tried to warn them, but
no, it's my fault if something bad happens. That's on me.
No, you are
I
not in
no.
control of their actions.
I have
They-
to. I have to remember that I'm not used to being around people, and what I find interesting, sometimes other people don't. I do have to. I need to be a little bit more socially aware of my surroundings, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I just, for research sake, hopefully it brings something out. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. Um, I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's not your fault. They are 100% in control of their actions. And I will say right now that if something like that were to happen to me on my land, I don't care how many bones the person brings out that's bringing me the news. I
Yes,
would still look.
but there is the possibility too. I mean, how many people walk around with bones other than people with nefarious reasons.
You'd be quite surprised, really. And he's about to like mount. He's just like, you know what?
No,
I'm just going
just
to leave it alone. Let's just continue.
yes, let's.
All right. Where do you head now?
How late in the day is it?
Yeah.
So after your travel, things like that, it's starting to get more closer into the evening.
Well, then likely we probably can't hit up that other family. And the possibility of, yeah, you guys don't know where the family's at. I probably need to keep my distance from now on with dealing with people, but we can try tomorrow.
Sure, we can
I-
all try tomorrow. I would feel better personally having everyone back when we go over to visit them because something just strikes me as not quite right about them.
Yes,
Why?
agreed.
Thank
It
you.
never hurts to have more hands on hand.
As somebody who is not here, I just imagine y'all trying to go out at night, and because Alicia's the only one who has dark vision, one of you finds a hole and just falls into it.
Yep, and I
Not
already
even.
gave you
No,
guys
no,
my
no,
eyes
no,
of night.
no,
I
not even,
already
not
gave
even.
you my
They
eyes
just
of night.
see Drax's form walk forward, and all of a sudden, phoom,
No,
just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Elysia would see you disappear. Okay, Red would be like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha,"
I
and
didn't
she's
know
like, "Hold
he
on."
could cast invisibility.
Yeah.
I use dig.
So you head back to the apothecary homestead.
Yep.
About this time, Doctor, you will be arriving as well. So yeah, the four of you actually kind of meet up similar to the same time.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor,
He
I
is.
found a femur.
Oh my gosh. Is that the most important part of that story to you, dear?
It's
Where did you find the femur?
in a tunnel underground at the Collins. Their harvester broke, and we went in the tunnel. They couldn't see anything, so I helped them out with that. Drax got stuck whenever trying to leave, and all that. But anyways, there was a big pile of rotted meat, and I grabbed this femur from it as she like goes to pull it. I was like, wait, maybe there might be people around. We can look at it inside. I mean, it probably won't give us a lot of answers, but you know.
Oh, well, let me take a look at it. I might be able to discern something from it. Who knows?
The bigger portion of this story is there are tunnels
Is
underneath.
the femur. The femur is the big story. How
There
did
are
the femur
tunnels
get there?
that appear they lead from the outer edge of the island, where the sky sharks are, towards the farmsteads. There was a hole coming up out of the tunnel in the Collins property, and that's how the sky sharks got there. I'm fairly certain that the rotted meat and the femurs and the whatever else body parts are how they drew the sky sharks in to attack the Collins.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we can easily find out.
Hmm.
Possibly, maybe, if we're
Mhm.
lucky, we can possibly find out what kind of humanoid character it came from. Maybe.
I'm fairly familiar
And-
with
And if
femurs.
anybody has gone missing recently,
Mm-hmm.
or
Not
if
that
nobody's
I-
gone missing, then that means the body came from someplace else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, let's go inside and at least get some tea or something going.
I can do that. As Elysia opens the door, like unlocks it and opens it up and lets everybody in and everything. And then, like, as soon as they're in, she hands the femur to the doctor and
God.
everything.
How big is this femur? Like, is it from an adult, teenager, child?
Give me a medicine check,
Will do.
please.
18.
18. Looking at it, looking over real quick before you go into too heavy detail, it looks adult.
Okay.
That femur pays bills. Or it did.
And you said you found this femur in the Collins land.
Yes.
It was in the tunnel
tunnel.
underneath, yes.
There was a bunch of meat.
Hmm.
That was the only bone that I saw, but there might have been more.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Miss Red, how close was this hole to where me and you were accosted the other night?
DM.
It's about. It was fairly close. It was honestly within probably a 125, 100-foot distance.
It was fairly close, actually.
Well, I wonder if me and you happen to run into this creature who is potentially what appears to be sent to attack the Collins again. And we happen to be in the right place at the right time to stop it before anything
That's
went terribly wrong.
right. That's quite likely, actually.
The-
Which
the
means that
Femur.
which means that these tunnels are being used more than once.
Or at the very least, are not natural tunnels and are not being exploited because of it. So someone is purposely attacking these lands.
Exactly. So we tried to stop by the Moskills and were basically told to go away.
It's my fault.
Stop it, my dear. If they want to check out, we at least gave them the warning. And if they don't check it out, that's their own fault. But we did at least warn them, even though we were told to leave. Politely, I think, but still told to leave nonetheless.
Hmm.
We thought maybe we'd go and check the third family out tomorrow, once everybody's all in one place.
Bird family, I'm, again, foreigner here. I'm not quite familiar with everyone.
Oh, was it the ill runes? I can't remember.
Yes.
I began with an I.
Yes. And Red, give me a history check.
All right. Oh, well, it's a 12.
Well, you've heard the name, which to you is particular because in order for a name to get from the Surwich Fields to where the Cerulean Castle city proper is, it carries some weight, but you don't remember exactly in what circles or what context you heard it. You just know you have.
The Ilrune family. That appears to be the third prominent family in this area.
Have they had any attacks or
They've not, which makes me incredibly suspicious.
I'll go make some dinner and tea. Doctor, you know whereby you can use the shop or you can use my shed back there. You know where it's at. She goes up to make dinner for everybody. Oh, where's Eva?
Oh, Miss Eva wanted to stay in town. She has a business to take care of, and I imagine we'll hear from her tomorrow.
Okay. I'll make some leftover food just in case she travels the night. As she just goes up and makes food.
Oh,
You could hear pots and pans dropping in there.
Cling clong.
Yeah.
Cling.
Can I examine this femur closer to see if I can determine species?
or maybe if there are shark bite things on it, just to make sure.
Markings?
Yes.
Shark bite thingies.
Shark bite thingies, yes.
So you've already given me one medicine check,
Yes.
but it's a new instance, so I'm going to need a little more detail what you're looking for because it's either going to be medicine or investigation. So you tell me, give me like 2 or 3 things you want to focus this skill check on, and that's what I will determine from.
If there are any bite marks on the actual bone itself,
Okay.
And if I can determine if it's from a human, dragonborn, or any other species of humanoid I've seen here.
What's most important to you?
I would say the species part.
Okay, give me a medicine check, please.
Okay, not gonna lie, for a minute there, I was actually gonna
16.
say, why are you trying to check out like who made the bite marks on there? It's supposed to be cloud sharks.
Looking it over, you're well versed in medicine, which helps you when identifying certain things. Unfortunately, when it comes to bone structure, it takes a hardier and more intensive tools you don't have here to get to know the things you need to know, such as density, weight, inner channels of the bone, things like that. Looking at it, you can narrow it down to average human size. So that puts you in the realm of anything that is typically of human stature, whether it be half elf, elf, human, even tieflings, things like that. You know, it's
What's an
not
elf?
particularly. My apologies. That's right. Elves are heard of, but that would be very strange to find an elf bone.
Yeah,
So
it would be.
definitely,
You made this rule.
I know, and I totally forgot. So, well, I was just thinking of races that fall into that, and I threw that knowledge out the window for a second. But you do know it's not a particularly hardier or larger humanoid. You know, it is definitely someone probably similar size to yourself. Just very average. Nothing crazy about them. Nothing seems to, in particular, as to certain things that you are currently on the hunt for. There is no trace of that. So that is puts your mind at rest there.
Okay. Well, if this was a pelvis, I could probably identify at least male or female.
Well, that is unfortunate.
What you do
Oh.
notice, I will say with the 16, is that the joints at each end were not the typical pattern of being death rolled off or twisted off. It's a very clean cut around what was at one point sinew and ligaments. It didn't cut through bone, but that softer tissue was maneuvered around.
So they were chopped up.
Chopped up is a little too brutish and rough. I would say they were precisely separated.
Dissected.
So
Thank
Isn't
you.
that-
That's a
isn't
very good
that-
word. Yes, they were
I was about to say,
dissected.
isn't that the tagline of the place that the doctor just got a job at?
Here's a reference
Right.
that Rot and audience will understand. He's been Trafalgar Laud.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
100%. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about all I can really discern from a femur.
All right. Well, perhaps tomorrow we'll show you the tunnels. If maybe the other companion is back by then.
Yes. Well, I hope we can find something. Maybe another bone, like a torso or pelvis, something else to help me identify this.
Well, there were a few spots with rancid meat. I'm sure there's more bone there somewhere.
Well, I wear a mask for a reason.
That's clever.
Is there any other business you wish to attend to before we move into a long rest?
I knew.
I
Nope.
think so.
Not at all.
Okay. Here, Eva, have you already given me your role?
There was not one because of the success last night.
That's right. Thank you. With that, I need everyone except Drac to please mute yourselves. And then I will put in the Discord chat when you can come back.
Deafen or mute? Big difference.
Sorry, deafen.
Okay.
My apologies.
You can
I
never
don't want
stop
you
me
listening.
from talking.
I don't want you listening.
All right.
Oh wow. I wasn't expecting this today.
Traffics. As you go through the night routines that you have for yourself, getting ready for bed. You lay down, and as the sleep comes to you, for the most part, you're usually, I would imagine, pretty easy to get to sleep, except for the night. It's odd how you're not sure if it's just the information, what you've been dealing with, perhaps too much time on the clouds, being land for even for you, just a day and a half, 2 days is quite some time. But as sleep does come to you, you find yourself almost with that gravitational pull where your heart was slowing and your brain tries to kickstart you back up. That and you look around and you find yourself amongst the clouds. The wind blowing over your scales. The deck of the skyship you're on, large, powerful, fast moving. You know this ship very well. You look around and you can see your captain. You see a crew you once knew. And there on the horizon, you see the dark clouds rolling in.
Can I speak? Can I say anything? Can I move?
Absolutely. What do you want to do?
He would immediately run back towards the helm and try to take control and steer the ship away.
Okay. You're able to move your body, and it's interesting. Most times when you dream, it's like you're trying to move through molasses, but you are free to move. Your body, you feel yourself move to the helm, and you grab it and struggle against as hard as you can, but it doesn't move. You're like, what? What's going on? What's happening? And you look out over the ship, and you see yourself. You haven't moved, but you have moved. Almost like there's two of you now. The one you see just across the deck, solid, opaque. But you look down to your arms and your hands that's trying to grip the stern and the wheel, and you see you're a bit translucent. You see your body move to the edge of the ship, begin tying over a rope, getting things ready as the storm clouds come closer.
He rushes down back to himself and tries to, at this point, like he's realizing that this is a memory. This isn't, it's that fateful day all over again. He's trying, he doesn't want it to happen. So he tries to wake himself, or at least warn himself about what's about to transpire.
You scream and you yell and you try to grab yourself, but when your two giant dragonborn hands grab your own shoulders, you can feel your own claws digging into them, and then you feel cold and your vision rapidly shifts and you're just surrounded by white falling. And then you wake up.
He bolts upright out of bed.
Hang on a second, let's give everybody a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You got one more.
Yeah, we do have one more.
That's okay.
Yeah, we do.
We tag her.
No, shoot. Should probably expect it to be longer because I usually do it kind of long on these, but I'm trying to cut that down.
That's fine. So considering the fact that Drac has been sleeping on the first floor, that way everybody else can rest easy in the beds. If anybody were to have been nearby, they would hear a very quick inhale and exhale out of Drax as he almost bolts upright. And for this, he would actually look pale. Like, for even like Dragonborn scales to look pale just tells you like what kind of thing he went through. And he just sits there for a little bit, kind of almost rocking like a small child, just to like kind of get themselves back into like just this inner calm that he usually has.
Trying to think back here. I think the only person that would have been down there would have been Eva because she stayed also in the lower part of the shop. I think Red and Doctor and Elysia all had
Yeah.
lodging upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elysia goes like the first night she stayed like behind the counter, but tonight she probably did the same thing and went into the study.
So nobody is actually near Drac.
Yeah, once your mind
see.
comes back to yourself, you realize there's nobody down here. It's probably
He just-
that pre-dawn light barely coming through one of the windows.
Yeah, and at this point, he's just like quietly, or at least as quietly as possible, with the 5 locks on the door. The clink, 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 clink.
Oh
Opens
no,
the
they
door.
found a way in my house. Elysia just springs it. No.
He opens the door and just stands outside, kind of like really sitting on the stoop as he just stares off to the horizon.
About this time of day, there's probably about 1.5 to 2 foot of very light cloud cover fog as the island is beginning its daily ascent back above the clouds.
Yeah, so if anyone goes outside, that's where we're gonna find them.
Okay. I will get back to the rest of you in a moment. Miss Eva,
Yes, sir.
as consciousness finds you in your homestead, or would you have been at your neighbor's?
Wherever she would have slept the night.
You would have been at your homestead then.
All right.
As you wake up and begin to kind of go through your morning routines, there's the typical 2-tap knock at your front door. And you're being accustomed to where you live in the city, you know this is the distribution of daily news.
Blinks a few times. Realizes how freaking early it is. Casts her spell and will go to the door.
Okay. You open the door and they're very neatly placed and you're used to this. There's just like a rock placed on top of it that is kept by your doorstep. Keeps the single parchment of daily news weighed down. But it sits there in the middle of your step and you look down the alley a bit. You see just a couple, probably already like 4 or 5 houses down. You can see probably a teenage or younger individual with this heavy satchel on their side. You can just see they're just pulling one out, boom, boom, bending down, placing something they can find nearby the house, putting a weight on it, and walking on.
Keeping it from blowing away.
Yeah.
I'll grab it.
Okay.
The paper, not the child.
Yeah.
Keep the child.
You grab the paper, putting it right back over close the door, looking over it real quick. Not a lot catches your interest except for on the back side, there is kind of a larger, the whole top half of the page is taken up by this bordered announcement, essentially, stating by decree of the guard, all members within the Sirwich Fields take heed. There have been multiple Sky Shark attacks. Any assistance or essentially solution to this, welcome by the Crown. Acquire for possible compensation. And as you
Just
kind of
kind of looks it over and laughs a bit.
would say you would know that it didn't list anywhere to go. Just being a citizen of the area, you know that there's where the nearest station is at, where you can go to get more details, should you so be inclined.
Mm-hmm. Of course, now they want help. Because they finally realized it's a problem. Shame. She will place it on the table and see if she can find anything, coffee or something to wake herself up with now that she's been woken up already.
I would say that given the typical background of your character, you probably keep those very simple things there. It's not like you've been gone long enough to be completely void of food and things like that. You've only gone a day and a half, 2 days. So there's still plenty of things there at your homestead to get yourself perked up, get yourself changed and ready, and make arrangements should you want to travel a day.
I will definitely make breakfast big enough for both of us.
Okay.
But anything else will wait until she wakes up.
Okay. And it's not too much longer, being the nature of that individual. They're up pretty early as well.
Did you sleep well?
Yes, Mom. Thank you. Can we have eggs?
I can certainly see if we still have any. If not, I'll have to go get some.
And you can see she kind of smiles a bit, and she moves over to the table and has to grab the table, get herself onto the chair.
And if we have eggs, I will make her some eggs.
You definitely still have a few more. You have I'd say at this point, you're gone for a day or two. Neighbors probably use a little bit of your food supplies to assist. So yeah, you have enough for about one meal then.
Okay. Looks like I'll have to do some shopping later today. Would you like to come with me?
You can see she's just kind of eating her eggs and then kind of looks up at you and just kind of nods. Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to be careful. You remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good girl. Then I will wait for her to eat, and we can just simple things, groceries, nothing crazy.
Okay. You are able to, I would say, for 5 silver. And that's putting it above cost to get a good bit.
Yeah.
I guess that's the question I asked, is how much are you looking to get and what quality? You're looking to just get a couple days worth because you think you may not be around for a few days? Are you looking to get less than, more than?
Probably a few days unless something changes.
Okay, so you're able to get a little piece worth of food.
It's 10 silver for a gold, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having to do conversions.
No, you're good. You're able to get groceries for yourself and your daughter. and you can spend your day as you see fit.
And then 5. Move. If she wants to go see something, do something, just hanging out with her.
Okay. So you will continue to spend your time at your homestead today?
As much as possible.
Okay. So while you are doing that, we will move back over to the rest of the party as you all are getting up for the day, kind of getting ready. Breakfast is had. Teas and coffee, I would imagine, are made, shared.
Morning rituals are done.
Morning
Yep.
rituals handled. Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Do you think we should wait for a little while for our friend, or perhaps seize the day while it's early?
Well, Miss Eva didn't tell me how long she would be, so sooner we get to work, maybe it's better.
I was gonna say better to get it done now.
All right. We should
Doc
head
will
out then.
remember. Doc will remember I did say not to wait for her.
True, but you also didn't. But he only took that as for the day, so you know.
For the train.
Yeah.
That's what he took it for. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
he's very very literal, and very
And then he literally
at
waited.
face.
And then he literally waited at the train for a couple hours.
To be
Mhm.
fair, it was a little bit for selfish needs. He
Mhm.
did like taking some sights at the town and got a
Oh my
nice
god,
meal for
did he
himself.
have like a sightseeing montage?
Yeah,
A
we'll
small
release,
one.
we'll
Like the
release that
old
later.
the old 90s shows.
We'll release
where
that
they go
later. Yeah.
overseas.
All right.
I just need your Hero Forge character for a little bit.
Yeah, can I just send me the file real quick for just a couple of days? Thanks, bud.
I can easily get you that.
Vacation.
All right, so all of you get your breakfast, you get ready to go, and you are going to head where with your day?
We go to the other farm, right?
It appears so, yes.
Okay. Elysia, you lead them away from the apothecary, heading in a westward direction. After about, let me check my measurements here.
As we are traveling, Elysia, remembering the last couple days, casts disguise self on herself.
Okay, what do you look like?
A absolute, like, kind of. She kind of goes to for the like, oh, I work the land here, very like sun-kissed farmer's tan kind of look, freckles, human with brown hair, just bare like you wouldn't like if she was in a crowd, you would not pick her out.
Okay. After about 2 to 2.5 hours of walking, you begin to see in the distance, after crossing over 2 fences, you begin to see in the distance what almost appears to be a similar layout to what surrounds the apothecary. There is a few buildings kind of nestled together. One of them, the largest one, being a 2-story building, all of them here made of wood. And then probably about 50 to 75 feet away from each other are 3 other 1-story but still slightly larger wooden buildings as well. Elysia, you have at least been here or know of the area enough to know that as the party gets within eyesight of it, you can let them know this is the Ilrum Ranch House.
We're here. Oh, probably won't do much talking. I know we're kind of suspicious of these guys, but let's try not to just come right out with that. Gather more flies with honey and vinegar, and we're trying to figure some shit out. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a long couple of days. I usually don't talk like that.
Mm, that's understandable. We need to
Very
figure out how we're going to approach them then, because while it may not be a good idea to say that we suspect them of anything, it's also not really a good idea to.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we saw them the other day at the Collins. They would recognize you two, so, and I'm sure word's gotten around that we're, that's the whole point of this disguised self. So they're not like, oh, hey, you're the femur chick. That way they might have gotten word that we're asking around for questions and, wondering about holes and sky sharks. So if they haven't heard, we just kind of be like, hey, there's been two attacks on two major families here. So we thought we'd go ahead and see if you guys know anything or have seen anything. That's a possibility.
It's completely understandable.
Well, if we're going to come out with that, we need to be wary. Because if they are doing something and we come right out and say that we're investigating them doing something without saying them specifically, they might try to just not let us continue.
But
Yeah,
And
then
be
that
past
only
my
that is
threat.
a
further.
possibility,
But would that just further our investigation at that point?
but on top of it, they're not going to straight up tell us, like, oh no, we're doing things. Don't investigate this. Otherwise, you will find us out. And
Or we
Yeah,
could end up like the femur bone.
very easily could. Anybody could, end up like the femur bone if you really think about it. But at the same time, wouldn't it seem kind of weird, especially considering the fact we're asking questions and then all of a sudden we disappear, thus making guards or other people be like, hey, they were just investigating and then they disappeared and they talked to this family and everything.
We didn't tell
Ultimate.
anybody we were going here, though.
No, but I have it written down in a journal. Not here. I write almost everything down.
Well,
And I do have at least one person who might miss me if I was gone, who would definitely read it. Might take some time. But ultimately, we have to go into this, I guess, knowing that anything could happen. Because we have a bad feeling about these people, they could just be jerks that are trying to snatch up land. They could have nothing to do with it, or they could have everything to do with it. We can't really. The jury's still out, I guess.
All right, but we can't go blundering in there and just
No.
willy-nilly. We need caution.
That's the reason why I'm suggesting hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
I mean, simply put, I think we should just inquire if they've had any attacks on their lands. Because
Or found any holes.
yes.
I don't think we
simple.
should. I don't think we should inquire about the holes. In fact, I think that would give away too much.
As do I.
But if we just simply ask if they've had any attacks, because simply there's no real way of receiving information around here, so there's no, I don't know if any of these attacks have been reported on specific people yet. So, I mean, the Collins attacks in the local area is very well known, same thing with the Moss Scales, but that's because they're more local than these people. They seem to be a little bit more further out than everyone else, at least. So they might be more tend to keep these things quiet on their end to seem like they're more reliable. They very well might be having attacks, and we just don't know it.
This is true. That's the reason why I say we can't really point at them and say, you guys are behind this, and automatically think that whenever they're just opportunists. Or they could be behind it. We don't know.
At the very least, I think that we should at least inquire if they've had any attacks on their own lands yet. They would at least to tell us about.
Right.
Agreed.
And I also don't think we should go around just accusing people off the cuff either.
Hmm. And if
Yeah.
they ask for a reason why we're looking into it, simply state that me and Miss Red were accosted by a sky shark the other night, and we wish to simply just get rid of this nuisance.
You can also state that you and the owner of the apothecary helped the Collins, and just, considering the attacks, want to do as much as they can.
Yes, I mean anything of that nature would be fine for a reason, because some people will inquire about that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
I think we have our story straight, so let's go speak.
Let's.
Okay.
Elysia secretly has the femur and she's gonna point it. No.
No. You head towards what you believe to be the main building for the Ilverum family. As you get closer, you do see oddly placed for where you're at a banner hanging outside of the kind of hung off the porch with this kind of black cloth with a single I, the letter I, sewn into it with a bit of what looks to be rope wrapping around the eye.
Oh man, I was hoping it says we don't call the town guard here.
Similar to what you saw on the carriage just yesterday.
Knock on the door. Whenever we get to the door, knock on the door.
Okay.
And then Elysia steps behind everybody.
Okay. You knock on the door, then you quickly duck behind somebody who's going to be in front.
I stand out enough, so I guess I'll be in front.
I'll stand up there too.
Okay. Red and the doctor kind of square off with the door, essentially waiting to see who's going to answer it. Excuse me. After a moment or two, you see the door opens, and before you is probably a middle-aged, a little bit older human female, kind of brown, wavy hair pulled behind her head in a loose ponytail, wearing more servant type clothing, less ranch hand. It's a very simple kind of a long pattern dress, mostly of greens and yellows, with a apron tied around. You can see there's probably just a little bit of flour like on it, and they kind of answer the door. She kind of reaches down, grabs the apron, starts to clean her hands off. Can I help you?
Yes. Is the Lord and Lady or Lady in today? We wish to ask a few questions. Hopefully, they can give us more insight on a matter that we wish to discuss with them.
Well, and she just seems to be fixated on you for just a moment, trying to discern what she's looking at. Well, the head of the household is not available. He's out on business. Left early this morning, but he will be back probably afternoon or evening if you want to come back.
Oh, if there's anyone else who can probably answer our questions, maybe the lead rancher maybe can answer some of our questions. So we might not have to bother the Lord.
That would be his eldest, Harry. He's here. Who's looking to speak with them? What are your names?
I am the doctor. And this is my companion, Miss Red, and Drakix, and Elysia.
Nope. Call her Leah.
Leah,
She would have
okay,
told you to call her
all right.
Leah. I'm sorry, I should have thought about that.
Yeah.
She don't look like Elysia, and there's only one Elysia, so they're gonna be like, why does she
Leah.
look different? So yeah,
Alright,
just call her
Leah.
Leah.
All right. And this is Leah.
Okay, just give me a few moments. And she closes the door.
Mhm.
A few minutes go by before the door opens up again. You can see what looks to be probably in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Pretty stout, dark-haired individual. I would say those of you that got a good look of the head of the household yesterday can definitely see kind of a definitive jawline matching that of his father. His not quite as large of a beer gut, but definitely much more upper body strength, more of a built chest, thicker arms. Wearing, you would think would normally be like you're going into the city clothing, but you can see kind of, I would say, Lysia and Doc, you can see kind of a bit of the edges, things like that. You can see a bit of fraying and a bit of, there is work to the clothing, but it's not a lot.
Probably own that outfit for a little bit too.
Morning. Can I help y'all?
Yes, good morning, young master. See, me and my friends here are looking into the recent Sky Shark instances that have been happening, and there, as you probably have heard, have been multiple attacks on the colonies, and one recently on the Moss Scales.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's pretty rough.
Indeed. We were. I haven't heard any of the attacks happening out here, but I was curious if there has been any.
Well, no, we've been pretty fortunate so far. I think one of our overnight ranchers managed to run one off, but no, we seem
Oh,
all right.
okay. Well, that is very interesting, at the very least, to know that they are somewhat still attacking you, at the very least. So,
Do you
You-
know roundabout where he ran it off?
Oh, trying to think here. Probably about southwest here, probably about 2-3 miles.
All right.
well, I think that's really all we had to ask. Simply just trying to figure out where they're coming from, or at least figure out what is going on, at least remove the problem.
Right. Just the one sighting, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard from the overnight ranchers yet this morning, but it's the only one I'm
Okay.
aware of.
Thank you for your help, sir.
Um,
Would you mind we do go down your lane and look at the site?
Well, as long as you make a persuasion check.
Mm.
thank fucking God, because I was about to ask that question. No.
11.
Better than what I would have
Well,
rolled.
I'm going to be pretty honest with you. Y'all look a little bit like quite the outsiders. I'd appreciate if you didn't just wander the lands.
That's fair enough, sir. I am new to the area as well, so I can understand that.
Would you mind having someone escort us then? Just watch us and make sure we're not getting into any trouble or anything. We would really like to see the site of where this happened, see if maybe there's any clues left behind as to why these sharks are coming so far inland.
That, or if another sighting is Leah, this is automatically. We can be reached at the apothecary. Maybe talk to your father and mother, and if anything
The
happens.
apothecary.
Yes, it is where I am currently staying, and these lovely people are staying there with me.
Right.
You can see his vision kind of narrows and shifts as he looks over the rest of you now. That's something, all right.
Well, it was for lodging that I didn't have to pay for, so
Very true.
Yeah, not with coin, anyways. You all still have your kidneys?
as far as I'm aware, good sir. Um,
That's good. Can't trust that fucking witch out there. Oh,
Any
Honestly,
particular
she-
reason why?
yeah, she's a hag witch.
And that's it. That's all you're basing it off of.
Well, yeah.
Elysia grabs like Red's sleeve, just drop it. Just she doesn't say it, but she's like just grabbing the sleeve where nobody can see. It's just like
Everyone knows tales around here. She killed her mom, ate her dad. It's wild.
My first time hearing of this.
By the way, she
That's
doesn't have
it?
any sleeves. They're torn off of her.
Well, she's grabbing, your shirt. or something
She's
and
grabbing
just
muscle. She's looking for cloth.
She'll grab your fucking arm and just pinch you. Okay, no, she won't do that. She'll feel bad about that, but still, she'll heal you later if she did that. No.
Drac just like looks over and just be like, and that's it? I've actually heard far worse about other people.
In any case, if we could please have an escort to wherever this occurred so that we can maybe see if we can find some hint of what's going on.
Red, make me one more persuasion check.
Perfect. It'll be a 24.
24.
A 24. I have a +6, my guy.
Oh, he
24.
kind of looks over all of you. If it'll sate your curiosity. Give me a minute. And the door just slammed shut. A few minutes go by before he comes back out. You can see he has like a satchel over his persona. He's holding on to it. And then he begins to head out and walk in a general direction.
Red will follow.
Okay.
He follows behind as well.
Alrighty then. After probably about, it's a good walk. It's 2 or 3 miles. Over the course of this walk, you can just look around. You can see the lands here are mostly in line with what you've passed over before, but you can also tell the grass is a bit thicker. The animals that you do see are well and healthy. The ones you seen before, they were still healthy, but here they just seem to be just better off, it would appear. Kind of as they're walking, he leads you just to a general spot. You can see he kind of looks around a bit. I think this is about where he said it was.
All right. Thank you. Who wants to take a look around with me?
I will join you on this.
He would help as well.
All right.
See.
2 of you can make a perception check, or 1 of you can make one with advantage.
Can I roll an investigation to try to find the area, like if there's been a scuffle in the grass or something like that? recently?
If you want to go that detailed, yes, you can.
Oh yeah, so Red can take the help for her.
Advantage. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
We're 2 different things here.
So first one is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
I did
Second
not.
one.
Oh no, doctor, no!
Oh no.
Second one is a 21.
Oh my. Doctor, as you start to look around, you guess you didn't seal your mask tightly enough. There's just
Oh,
one
no.
one little fleck of some kind of pollen gets in your nose, and you go, and your entire mask is just instantly fogged over and just jacked.
At least it's still on.
Yeah, at least it's on.
It's still on, but it's just.
I will-
Oh no! Oh, this is awful.
I will immediately unhook the beak and precipitation and cleaning inside.
Yeah, you turn aside. You find the one latch image. Oh, this stupid thing! I swear I got it this morning. Red and Drakex, as you two are looking around, you were looking for a possible hole. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How far out do you span?
Um, as far as we can before he's like, "Hey, get back here."
Okay. I mean, I will say you get to about. You do like a 30-foot ring,
Okay.
then 40, 50, 60, 80. You're not finding much of anything. You find grass. You find dried up dead patches where there has just been chewed on grass that no longer is trying to grow back now. But as far as anything similar to what you found with like the heavy tarp thrown over, you don't.
Interesting.
Okay, so considering the fact that Drac would remember where the tunnel had started and the general direction of it, if it were to be a straight line, would we have actually been over any area that coincides with the tunnel?
I would say that you think about it for a minute, and no, from where you were previously at the exit to the tunnel, following the line, it was a straight kind of a southwest direction to the outskirts. You don't know if it went all the way there. You didn't travel it in its entirety, but if you would imagine if it followed that path, it would definitely make it all the way to the edge.
And we're nowhere on that line, right?
No, we're on correct.
All right. So,
Uh,
mm,
hmm. So Jack is going to look at Red and just be like, I can do something, but
yes,
if you don't mind being carried, it may be able to give us a better view.
I don't mind.
Okay. And with that, he's going to pick her up in his arms, and she sees almost what looks like gemstones coming off, like just like almost glinting off of his scales on his back,
Mm.
and turns into spectral wings
Ooh.
as he will fly up 30 feet and try to take a look around to get more of a bird's eye view.
Okay.
Oh, she's
all of you
loving this right now.
Yeah, all of you watch as this pair of spectral gem colored translucent wings begins to just manifest themselves out of the back of where the shoulder blades are on Drakax's form, and you watch as they kind of tendril out, beginning with the bone structure, and they stretch and span. How tall are you again?
He's about, let me see what exact
6'6".
6'8".
Mm.
So that
So
would
it's
be a
the actual
14. That'd be about a
almost
fif-
15-foot wingspan.
about a 15 to 16 foot wingspan outward. But the interesting part is that they don't flap in a forceful manner to create lift. Instead, you watch as they gently drift back and they drift down to mimic that flapping motion. And as they do, they kind of flare up, and his form is pulled into the air along with Red.
Um. Red. You're right. Now I'm trying to figure out how Red is reacting in this moment. She goes incredibly quiet.
There's just that you hear is kind of coming from the eldest son. Holy shit!
So yeah. So now that they're actually up in the air, he's just going to like kind of like look around. It's like either because of how high we are now, we should be able to at least see maybe not tracks per se,
Right.
or even, but if there is some kind of discoloration in the ground, we may be able to pick it up here. And if there isn't, I think we may be able to at least figure out that either A, they are not involved, or they are. Somehow they actually dug everything a little further.
Right. Unfortunately, I think they are, but it's always good to be thorough.
You're up there and you look around for a moment. There's not any patterned discoloration to the grass. There are different colors, but it seems to be patchy with whatever bit and type of grass or crabgrass or weeds, wild grass is
Mhm.
growing in that area, but nothing
Mhm.
discernibly like this is against the growth of nature. This is weird.
Gotcha. There's no like buildings either that are just like off to the side that look like it
I
just
would
oddly placed.
say where you're at. Do you go 30 feet and that's it?
He what he would do is go 30 feet, take a look, and if he doesn't see anything, like because he wants to be extremely thorough, he would go another 30 feet. So max height he's gonna go right now is just 60 feet.
Okay. At 60 feet, both of you give me a real quick perception check.
Ooh.
Both of us,
Yep.
or
Both of
Oh,
you
I
are rolling
nat
with
20
advantage.
that. That's a 24.
Nice.
all right, let me just roll mine. Let me see what I get. I got an 18.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
look at that.
All right, all right.
So it turns out that I need to be higher in order to see better.
Yeah. What both of you notice, off to the west, you do see it looks to be a single large wooden building, probably a good 3, 4, 500 feet away, if not further, at this distance. And you're not sure if the size of the barn, if it's large and far away, or medium and not as far.
Got
All
it.
right.
Uh,
Should we check that out? And if so, how? We had to get an escort out this far.
About
well,
30 seconds have passed.
considering how far I've lived, and he's slowly dropping at this point.
Okay.
Um, he's not like he has an internal clock for how long his wings will manifest,
Mhm.
so he knows like, okay, this is as far as I can go right now. All right, halfway. It took me this long. I need to start dropping down. Um, and he, instead of actually being like a verbal communication with her at this point, as he starts getting lower, it's all mental again, and he's just going to uh mention to her, well, as I've been raised a certain way with a certain pedigree for no for probably the best way to describe it is knowing where to hide things without wanting to be found. That sounds like a building that kind of fits that criteria. So it is definitely something we should be checking out. We can always just say like we kind of saw traces of something over there, but I'm not one. I could always try to be persuasive, but something tells me that you'll be better off than I in that category.
Likely.
and just as the wings actually like dissipate, he's like just about to touch the ground anyway. So
Yeah,
he's just like
you-
a very
you
light
get
fall.
back down to the ground. Yeah, you get back to the ground. Your feet touch, and at this point, you watch as the wings just and flicker out.
And then he's just gonna gently put her back, like let her get to her feet
Mm.
and everything else.
What is your passive perception?
He's a flat 10.
He's a flat 10? Okay. Hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think he notices, probably. It's fine.
Am I gonna have to roll this just because now?
Not
Right.
unless you would actually be looking.
Well, he did just let her go, and he's going to be looking at her.
Mm.
Yeah,
Do
nah,
it,
it's a 7.
do it.
That's a 7.
No. No, my good sir, you notice not a thing. All right.
I mean,
No,
I could always roll for you.
DM question.
Yes.
no,
How
I'll use that roll
long
on the
has it
supplement.
taken us since we got to the porch to the field to now? Like, how long
I
is
would
it?
need another spell slot.
Okay.
Drac has probably been like her shield whenever like she actually tries to use this to make sure like she's not seen.
Okay.
Should I roll to see if this is hidden? Since he rolled
It's
to try
up
and
to
see
you.
it?
It's up to you.
Because her passive is more than that. Uh, oh, yeah, it's hidden.
Okay. So you two have come back down to the ground, and you see as
Yeah.
the elder. Well, can't say that wasn't weird, but also pretty neat.
Indeed. Then
We're
you have
gonna-
the ability to do that.
There's many things I can do that you don't know about, but we did kind of see something off in the distance. That barn or building over in that direction. Do you know
Yeah.
anything about it?
Of course, it's where we put the. It's where we put the herd when it gets too cold.
Okay. Maybe that explains some of the things we saw. Would you mind if we took a look just from curiosity's sake?
I wouldn't mind.
May I ask when the Sky Shark incident happened? Was the herd out?
Well, it was at night, so most of them probably were in the barn. Some were out.
Okay, that figures.
I'm just thinking if that was the reason for the attack or not. Sky Sharks are carnivores after all, so.
Right. You know, one of the reasons why they come this far inland or so far outside of their habitat is for food, because they're looking for it.
And the one we ran into the other night didn't seem to be hungry, and
Oh, yes.
so
Definitely hungry. Had to chase that one off.
You ran into one.
yes, we misread where Costa the other night, and it's more or less the reason why we're looking into him now.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
We handled ourselves very well against that one, so I believe we'll be fine.
We should be, yes.
Right. Well, I'm gonna take y'all back to the house. Send you on your way.
That sounds just fine.
Thank you for taking us out this far. We appreciate it.
Of course. He leads you all back to their main house. I'd say with the walk out there, walk back, it's probably pushing late afternoon. You can see, at this point, as he's walking back, you can watch as he kind of reaches into the bag and pulls out this kind of a like a quarter loaf of bread. And he just starts chewing on it.
All right. Well, if you hear of another attack or anything, or if you experience one of your own out here, gods forbid, would you let
Or-
us know?
Or if you need any medical assistance, I will be glad to come up and help.
Oh, that too. Yes, of course.
Right, we'll definitely let you know.
Can I insight that?
Me
I
too.
was about to say that too.
Sure, roll it.
This dude is just like, sure, we'll let you know, and all three of them give him the stink eye. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I got a 19.
I got a 17.
7 for the doctor.
Doctor,
Oh.
you're like, yep, he's convinced. I'll be seeing him soon.
One second.
All right, a new
Uh,
patient.
I got a 13 for that insight.
Nice.
Let's see.
The rest of you are like, this guy is coming nowhere near the fucking apothecary.
I know why I don't need to incite that.
Another happy patient.
Yeah, that's your thought
Literally the
process.
doctor,
Another
yeah.
happy patient. Yay.
Elysia's like, oh, you sweet summer child.
All right, well, I don't think we'll trouble you any further. Thank you. We'll see you, hopefully not because of another sky shock attack.
That'd be
Agreed.
nice. And he just stands there silently waiting for you to leave.
Yeah, Elysia just like automatically turns around and leaves. She's like, Jesus Christ, how long is this gonna last? I need to get out of the, I'm gonna use up all my spell slots.
The doctor would tip his hat and make his leave.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that'll go.
Jack is probably the one holding the back just to be their meat shield, just in case. He doesn't throw shit.
Meat shield. Are we going to? Oh, when they're far enough away that this dude cannot hear. Are we going to check out the tunnel a little more?
We can.
We have time for that.
I mean, it's back in the direction they're going, right?
Where do you want to go?
The
tunnel.
tunnel.
She was asking if the tunnel was in the direction
The
that they're
tunnel?
walking.
Yeah.
Let me look here. It would not be the direction you're walking, but you would have to go out of your way to go there.
And you said it's already getting close to late evening.
Yeah.
We better go home then.
Yeah, I.
Plus, if Miss Eva
Yeah.
was there, she's probably still locked out of the house.
Oh, that's yes. We
That is
should
very
get back.
possible.
Guys! Guys!
Yeah, I just.
Anybody here? Come on.
This
I'm
is a
going
prank. Screw you
Okay.
guys. I'm going home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
On your way
I
back,
just want to go home.
I need. Let me see here. Actually, no. Everyone. Doctor, how
Mhm.
close to the rest of the party do you walk?
Oh.
I would say within 10 feet of everybody.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Right.
Well, like to the left.
Okay, I just need to check something real quick.
Time to see if one person gets bodied or everyone gets bodied.
We'll
I
see.
didn't ask how big the room was. I said.
Okay.
Hey, I definitely said that.
Do I
Yes,
get a
you have.
reaction?
So, all of you hear in a very normal conversation tone, Doctor, return to the home. And you hear it 5 times.
Oh.
Well then, I think I am needed.
And that's where I'm going to break.
All right.
God damn.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break. Get some snacks, some water, take a rest, stretch our legs. Those of you that have been here for the first half, thank you so very much. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing what chaos ensues in the second half of tonight's episode. We'll be back in about 15-ish minutes, so we'll see y'all then.
Okay.
I know how to use OBS. I know what I'm doing. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's episode of the Skytorn. I hope you had a good break. I know I did. I went and got some snacks, and I just want to make a statement here that I found something in the grocery store that I gotta make sure I never buy ever again. It is Cinnamon Toast Crunch Spread.
Oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that.
Yeah.
First of
It's-
all, heresy. Second of all, don't you know that the originals are the best? It has to be cereal.
I know, but I saw it, and my inner fat kid was like, "Just buy it once; it'll be okay." I put that stuff on toast. Oof, that is my go-to
Sponsor
snack.
us. Sponsor us.
I doubt General Mills is going to be watching this.
Who knows?
You never know.
Who never? You're not
Tag
wrong.
'em.
We don't know.
It just takes one employee.
1 to 6 1. That's right.
Just
Yeah.
one.
You doubting what I can do? You doubt me, sir?
Anyways, before we went to break, our, at least, 4/5 of our party was making their way back from surveying some places out on the Ilrum ranch lands. As they were walking back, they heard a very particular message, or a voice just speak, emanating from the doctor, saying, "Doctor, please," let me say that right, "Doctor, please return to the home."
Mhm.
No, there was no please actually, because that would make it 6 words. So this was only 5 words. And it was repeated 5 times. And then it just stopped.
Damn, I didn't think the doctor was that old. He escaped the home.
I am only in my mid-30s. Thank you very much.
We don't know that.
True, you don't actually.
Nope.
Well, hearing this, Doctor just looks at the rest of the group and goes, "Oh, it seems my work is calling. I have to go."
That's a very odd way of getting called for work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm on call, so I go in when needed.
Right. Do you need company?
Probably. I imagine I won't be making my way back, so I'm not probably staying in town. I would like some help finding a temporary place to stay.
All right.
And you do know the area best.
Red
I
sounds
do-
so defeated.
That sounds like so upset.
I'll go. Jesus.
Just be careful of more sky shark attacks.
Hence why we'll be staying in the city.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's
And
the best idea.
we both encountered one together on the way, so
Yeah, that's the reason why
we
I'm
can
saying it.
handle it.
Well, I best be off. And well, if I have to diverge path, go to the train station.
Okay.
All right.
How many of you are? Is everyone going? Is you splitting off with just Red and the Doctor again? Who's going where?
Hello. She barely wants to leave her shop. Why would she willingly go to the city?
Good point.
You know
Because-
this answer.
Drac?
Drac is probably going to No, he's actually gonna stick around with Alicia.
Okay. So Drac and Lysia, you split ways
Elysia
from.
looks to Drax. If you want to go, you can. You don't have to stay behind just for me, unless is there something you need to do here? I mean, I don't mind having you. I'm not saying that you're not allowed anymore. I'm just
I,
saying if you have business to take care of.
he chuckles a little bit, and he actually looks over and just goes, "Well, what I want to do is find out a little bit more as to why, or I should say, who is really behind the attacks.
Agreed.
So that is why I'm sticking around."
No. Okay. Uh, just gonna have to make keys for everybody, I guess. She just scratches her head and keeps walking. Knock, her little moth is just hanging out on her horns.
Okay. So we'll say Drac and Eliza, you head back to the apothecary. Once you get inside, any conversation or business you wish to attend to, you are welcome to. If not, we will go to the other two members.
Are, are you hungry? Um, there's some food left over, and
It's about this time, Lizzie, as you say that and you look around, you're like, shit, I've had guests the last day and a half, 2 days. I'm running kind of low on food.
fuck. Should have went to the store while I was out. Jackix, do you mind if I run back into town? I have to buy some more food. I mean, I have plenty of vegetables if you don't mind a strictly vegetarian meal tonight, but
I'm perfectly fine with that.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, we can go tomorrow. It's just I don't particularly feel like getting out again.
So we can just take care of it tomorrow. It's not an issue.
Okay. Um, as Elysia goes into the kitchen and makes like what vegetables, like she goes into her garden, grabs some things and everything.
Okay, you start grabbing, like, okay, that's edible, that's edible. Not you, nope. And then you, you start grabbing what you
You're
need.
edible, but
Yeah, I was like, well, I could, but Dragonborn.
I need to
Okay,
to
so
neutralize the poison. I would need this. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
you are able to prepare a nice, strictly vegetarian meal for the two of you.
yeah, and if at any point Dragix is just looking at Elysia, he could tell like she is just drained.
He just kind of like says no, like he just smiles softly, like I get it, I know what you're going through. But he's not really going to like call attention to it.
Um, can I ask a weird question?
Of course.
No one seemed very surprised whenever th- those things were said earlier today. I know you guys are from the city, but I mean, obviously, I don't know how long you were in town for, but have you heard of me? The rumors.
I have prior to meeting you, I have not heard anything about you. I'm not really from here. I'm from another
Yeah.
island off in the distance.
Okay.
So, but I have seen, met, interacted with people with far worse stories than yours. So I don't really pay much credence to the actual stories that are told.
Not even if they're possibly true. As she just looks him dead in the eye.
And he actually smiles and be like, there's far more out there than anybody knows. And even if those stories were to be true, it still wouldn't change anything.
Hmm. I guess that's a bit of breath of fresh air. Um,
He coughs when she says that. He's just like, yes. Trust me, some of those will leave you winded.
yeah. Um, I I'm gonna go up to the roof for a little bit, and then I'm gonna sleep in the study again. I might call it an early night. Um, is there anything else you need?
No, I greatly appreciate the offer, though. Thank you.
As Elysia goes up to the roof for a little bit and pulls out like an old, like probably like kid size, like kind of telescope and like looks
Okay.
around at the stars on the roof and
Okay.
just kind of writes in her journal and then
Make a perception check. And I believe a telescope of advantage gives you advantage, right? Is that right?
does it? I
I
don't know.
actually don't know that or not.
I could have swore there was like just a generic, like you get advantage if you use any kind of like a telescope or periscope or
And things
what
like
would that be
you
called?
add a. I mean, if it's similar to like how my Arcana stuff works, she get a D4, but I don't think it's similar. I've actually not encountered this before. Not had to deal with someone with comes with a scope before.
I may have spelled telescope wrong. Just go ahead and make it with advantage. I feel like that's a
all right,
thing.
I'll roll it again. Yep. Right,
I
that's
will.
a 23.
Okay. As you're looking up and about, you know that with the shifting of the year, that certain constellations are visible and certain ones aren't. And you notice in one of the familiar constellations you're used to seeing,
Mm-hmm.
it's known as the Dawn Father's crown. It is a string of 7 separate stars. One of them being not as bright as a North Star, but just a little bit dimmer than that. And then it is flanked equally on each side by 6 remaining stars. You notice that one of the ones near the middle is not there.
Elysia jots this down in her journal. Why would it, why would it not be there? Oh, that's strange.
Especially someone
She's
as you who is spent most of their life, adult life.
I have
Yeah,
all the
sorry.
lives.
Apologies. Spent most of their adult life studying the stars and doing their best to learn what messages may be hidden beyond the comprehension of just, oh, there are bright lights in the sky. It's definitely off-putting.
They're just the holes that the gods put in so we can breathe. It's our
Sure.
jar. No. Elysia's gonna go down, and if she sees Drakex still there. Like she's gonna kind of look for him. Um, Drakex,
Yes.
there's a star missing in the Dawnfather's crown. I don't know if you know much about constellations or stars, but
He's gonna go. He like stops what he was doing for a minute. He was like,
Make a survival check.
and he's gonna roll a survival check.
you're gonna serve the food she made for you now.
17.
You've definitely heard of it. You especially when you're the new guy on the boat or on the skyship, you get the overnight watch.
Yeah.
So you had to learn enough to get by. So you're
Mhm.
familiar with at least that constellation.
It trusted you with no dark vision? What the fuck?
All right, listen. You don't need dark vision to see the stars.
No, you don't.
So,
Yeah,
like
no.
the moment that she says that, he goes like, "Wait, what? That? Can you show me?" And he's actually gonna follow her upstairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
she
Both of you
leads
head
him up there.
upstairs. Do you go one at a time up the ladder, or do you follow directly afterwards?
He's probably gonna follow right after she goes up.
Okay. You get about halfway up the ladder, and you start hearing.
He's gonna realize that he's just gonna like, you know what? Let me wait for you to go up there first.
And you just
before I
hold
do.
still as
We're
she
the
heads up.
biggins.
Once she's up, you're like, okay, it's safe. And you go up the ladder.
Yeah, we're the biggins. You gotta realize that.
Yeah.
And she, gets the telescope and points it the direction. She's got to do it like over there, like pointing, even though he's looking through the telescope. She's like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
that's right,
Sure enough, once she points it out, you look, and there's the main star in the middle. And then directly what should be flanked by a left and right star, and then also 3 on each side. The first one to the left is just gone.
I mean, stars burn out after a while, but constellations happen to be a permanent fixture for the most parts. And it takes a long time for them to burn out.
Important question.
Uh-huh.
Since he was on a skyship for so long,
Uh-huh.
were there any mythos, legends, or like old like sky lore about the stars disappearing?
Let me think here. I would say,
Making me think about it.
yeah. Are you proficient in history?
I
am.
No.
I would say
I'm-
make a history check, but due to the situations surrounding the information you're looking for, you may treat it as if you have proficiency.
Sweet. Be nice to me. That is a dirty 20.
There, you have definitely cloud shanties, lore stories, things told as you're moving along the cloud ocean. There's a few that just talk about general doom and gloom, things like that, and a particular line sticks out. The ending of the age will be signified by the loss of the stars.
And like as he's looking towards the sky, like unknowingly, even to himself, he's softly starts to like almost hum and sing the cloud chanty
Mhm.
word for word until he gets to the end of it. And he just like it kind of at that moment is when like he realized like, oh, that is not a good sign.
Yeah, as you go through it, I mean, I can give you the song if you want, but It's up to you.
I'm not singing it, but yeah.
The bits to remember are kind of just along normal lines, as we move through the clouds and we soar through the skies, we see to the stars with our eyes. For this age has a time and it will come to end when we see the loss of the stars. And it just kind of repeats similar variations of that.
Yeah. So they definitely hear, like, she definitely hears him sing the lines.
Where'd you learn that song from?
Back when I was with, and like he kind of like stutters a little bit, takes a deep breath. It's like, I learned it in my youth from a ship captain, as I was part of his crew.
Oh, so you would know a lot about stars. Stars are very important when
Yes,
navigating ships.
that they are.
Uh, so there's a song about this.
Yes, a sea shanty about it. Or cloud shanty, as it is.
What's the sea? No.
Well,
no. Just,
for us,
yeah.
it's those who actually typically live out in the clouds. There was once a story of the clouds not being clouds, but just made out of rain. Rain for as far as the eye can see. But it was just one mass of rain. But that's just stories.
Yeah.
None of that's true.
Just Ulysses is looking out like a kid, just like just like so enthralled by that. Must have gone lots of different places.
I've been to a couple of different islands, seen a couple of different things. Know that the there's far more below the clouds than what is known, and have lost quite a bit below the clouds.
I've only ever been to the capital, I think, once whenever I was a child.
Ah,
I only remember one thing from it.
mm-hmm.
I just remember a lot of buildings and a tower. But I was very young. Obviously, don't have a lot of memory from it. It's just I remember I think the only reason why I remember it was because I was like, oh my goodness, look how tall that is. It almost pierced. It's like if I climbed up on top of it, I could have actually touched the top of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's bigger whenever you're a kid.
Yes, by all means.
Um, I haven't thought about that tower in forever.
Well, I will say this: it is definitely far more enjoyable to go and enjoy the city and the new towns, new islands, but that is just me.
Yeah. Um, it's probably better that I stay here.
I don't think so. I think you could do far better out in the world, but I cannot tell you what to do. I could only give my opinion on the matter. And that is my opinion.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Since it's just going to be us tonight, I guess you can take one of the rooms. I'm gonna sleep in the study. If you need me, just knock on the door. But there's a big bed in the bigger room. You're definitely I barely fit in my bed. You definitely won't fit in my bed, so
Uh, he actually chuckles a little bit at that. Goes, "Oh, thank you, but being one who used to live in the clouds, it's a lot easier for me to get around it if I just rest somewhere not as comfy."
understandable. Oh, I guess probably I haven't seen any other missing stars, and maybe I can do a little bit more research. There's just so much going on right now.
Of course.
Um, but if you need me, I'll be in my chair. Just knock and then kind of back up a little bit. The study's kind of just my area. I
Um,
mean, for the longest time, nobody came upstairs, so for
no
all
worries.
everything
I
was my
will
area.
not try to impose myself. Don't worry.
If you hear any dropping of anything, I'm fine. Okay. I mean, if I go missing for like 3 days, then yeah, break down the door. But.
I think if you were disappeared for more than a day, as you are more familiar with with the surroundings, I will end up searching for you at that point, not 3 days later when I will probably get lost around here, as I don't think I can make any kind of headway with all of everything that I saw already. So, yeah.
All right. To head to your respective places for the evening.
Hmm.
The horn dragon's like goes downstairs. She's sitting at the door. She's like, "Oh, by the way, you kind of look like a character from one of my books." And she just opens the door and goes in there.
Should I feel worried?
Well, while that is happening, Red and Doctor, you make post haste to what you know as the nearest pickup station for the arcane monorail.
Yes.
This late at night, you head there, and you can see there is the exact same individual who was there last time. You get the sense that they're probably the only person that does this.
All right. I'll get very familiar with them, I imagine, at some point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or at least they'll be
They
familiar with me.
well, he sees you come up, like, oh, okay. And he reaches
Oh.
over, taps
You
something,
again.
taps something on the stone tablet next to him. You see a couple of runes light up. He kind of drags it around, moves it over a little bit, moves some more things.
I would hand them the 3 silver for my passage for the fast route.
All right.
Me too.
Well, in that case, about 30 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay. There's nowhere to sit, by the way. It is literally just a single person shack with a that's slightly elevated on a deck that's maybe 15 feet by 15 feet.
Lovely.
About 25, 30 minutes pass by, and especially with the descending of the island, it's very easy to see in the night sky 50, 45, 50 feet above the arcane runes in there, ready to receive the weight and speed of the carriage coming through. They light up in their usual fashion, all the way down, and it comes to a halt with the very last of this, for the first time you've seen, a 10 carriage connection, and it lowers the whole thing down. You hear all manner of animals just, and yeah, you just hear them just going. You hear cattle, goats, a couple of horses, and the door opens, and it's this one isn't as packed, but inside there's probably about, I'd say, 6 or 7 goats just tethered up to the side of the walls.
Okay, so
That's not
more spacious than the last one.
Yeah.
At least the last one was cows. Well, he'll step on board.
Okay.
Yep. We going.
About a couple of seconds after you step in, door closes. You feel that familiar shifting of the weight as it goes back up and takes off.
All right. How long's the travel time?
In this cuts it down to about a 10 to 20 minute wait. It is just moving along.
Okay, pretty quick.
Are you going to get out at the first place it stops, or are you going to wait and see what
Did
else
he
is
tell
on
us?
this? Nope.
Depends on. Well, I guess it depends. What does the first stop seem familiar enough for me to know to get off of here?
You
Or
notice
I'll ask Brad like if this is a stop close to the place that we're heading.
Red would know.
Red would
Yeah.
know, and what Red would know is that this is probably going to head to the processing bit of the city, because there were no human carriages on this one. It was just 10 straight links of no windows.
So good idea to get off now, yeah?
So the good idea would be that as it comes up, you're a little bit longer than the last time you were here, but it does drop you off kind of near the where the warehouse and the lower end bit of the city breaks up.
Okay.
You can definitely tell with like how quickly it drops and the door opens. You were not like you were definitely the last sneak on.
Mm-hmm.
And you get out and you can see the individual that's running. This one's like, who? Just get off.
And we'll step off.
Don't get your niggas in a bunch.
Kind of swears something under his breath. I swear, Nicholas, I swear, I'm gonna murder him. And the door closes and it goes back up and heads on.
All right, shall we?
From here, it's easy enough, Red, for you to navigate back to the familiar, completely legitimate funeral home.
Oh, absolutely legitimate. She will absolutely lead the way.
Okay, do
Alright.
both of you go inside?
I'm definitely going inside.
Okay. Red.
Red was not called, and she's not about to step in on any of this. So no, she'll wait out front.
All right. You're gonna wait out front. If you tell him the doctor, you're gonna wait out front.
I guess I'll go explore. When should I be back?
I have no idea, but if this is like any of the other processes I've been in, good 2 hours, maybe at the earliest.
All right. I don't have too much fun.
No promises.
Okay.
she cackles at that.
All right, Red, you go to wander off. Doctor, you head inside. You see the familiar female individual sitting behind the desk. Kind of notices you.
Good evening, Miss Aurora.
Evening. Lock the door, please.
I will do.
You turn and you lock it. You can realize now there's two locks here.
Hmm.
There is the simple knob lock, and then there's actually a lowered latch that can be placed across it.
I'll do both locks then.
Good.
Clearly, they need lessons from a certain.
Lock expert.
Yep.
The nods, stands up, and leads you for the first time through the back door.
Okay. I grab my doctor's bag, heading back there.
As you head back, you are immediately met with a very plain, nondescript hallway that heads back about 10 feet. On each side of you, in 5-foot increments, are 4 doors.
Nondescript doors, I imagine.
Yeah, very plain, all of it made from the same wood.
All right.
She heads you to the back left door. She just knocks twice. You hear a kind of a muffled voice. Come in. And she opens the door for you.
And I step on in.
Okay. You step inside, and what you see is probably I'd say a 10-foot by 10-foot room. And in the very middle is a probably, I'd say, 6-ish long, 2 feet wide table with a deceased individual laid upon it. And you can see there is another individual here who is just wearing like a simple like tie-on mask. You can see they have kind of darker black hair that's tied back. They're wearing white gloves, everything white.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see they have a couple of surgical tools placed nearby. He looks up and over at you. Well, they certainly said you were strange looking.
I assume you're the one who I'm going to be helping on this procedure.
Yes, you can call me T.
He.
T.
Well, I am
the
the
letter.
Oh. Okay. E. Well, I am the doctor.
Good, less to lie about. And he kind of wheels this little cart over to you, and it has all manner of surgical tools.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'll set
this
my
in-
doctor's bag to the side and kind of get my stuff separated.
okay. This individual needs to be put into a 10-piece, and then I'll handle the rest. But for now, they want to see what you're able to do.
Very well. Would you like me to go ahead and make sure they're unidentifiable?
Yes.
All right. I will begin the 10-piece procedure he's asking for. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with the carving of body parts.
It is, yes. It's an interesting way to have it described to you, but you're able to perform what they ask. The only thing I'm going to ask is, what methods do you go through? I will say for this, roll me a... I want to ask for 2 separate checks here.
Okay.
Give me a dexterity check and an intelligence check.
All right. Methodology, it depends what tools he has set out for me to use. And if there's anything that would help me cut through a bone easier, I would use it versus my own scalpel.
Remember
Okay,
the
there-
shark, Rot. Remember the shark.
I'll give you the dex check now. That's a 30-20.
Nice.
The method I want to use for making sure this individual is unrecognizable, I want to take the stomach acid I have from the Sky Shark and use it to burn away any identifiable marks and as well as disfigure the face.
Okay.
And I will be removing the lower jaw as well as the tongue.
Okay. And you can see the individual is just writing notes in a journal as you're doing all of this.
And I will give you my intelligence check now. Also a dirty 20.
Wow. Yeah.
This is my field of expertise now.
Remembered the shark. Yes.
Over the next, I'd say 3 hours, you meticulously perform the operation requested of you. You're able to successfully get it how they have asked, separated nicely, and they just kind of look over everything, writing in their journal. And you can see they pull a separate piece of parchment aside and they fill out a few things on that. And then they fold it shut and they tuck it kind of on the table, but where it won't get bled on, almost like tagging. They kind of stuff it between the toes.
And I will be using precipitation to remove any blood stains on the corpse and clothing.
You can say there's like a definitely like this look of like just impression upon this individual's face. Like their eyes kind of widen a bit, like arcane arts and knowledge of the medicine not commonly seen.
Well, it is. This is my expertise.
Without a doubt, you. Very well.
I removed the jaw as well as the tongue to prevent any methods of speaking with dead.
Interesting. I doubt this individual's talking to anybody.
Well, there are arcane means to speak with a deceased corpse.
True.
Never know. And I
But
simply removed what was required for it to do so.
with where they're going, I doubt it's ever going to be found.
I do not need to know this.
Very true. He kind of snaps the journal shut. Well, Doctor, thank you for your time. You will be compensated on your way out.
Pleasure working with you, Mr. E.
Of course.
And I will begin putting my things back into my bag. How much of the stomach acid do I have left over?
How much did you get? A vial's worth? 2 vials worth. I can't remember.
About 2 vials worth because I wanted to try to collect keep as much as the stomach acid.
I would say you have about a half a vial's worth left.
Okay, I need to replenish then.
And you would know there is a shelf life on this. It's not anywhere near, but you would know there is one. Probably a month to 2 out.
Yeah, plenty of time to get new samples, given what we're currently going through right now.
But you head out the door. You head the way you were shown in. There is no other way out. There's just these 4 doors, and then the 5th door that leads to where you came through.
I will head up back to where Miss Aurora is stationed.
You head out. There is no one there. Okay. There is just a pouch in the middle of the desk and nothing else on it.
I will grab the pouch.
Take the pouch. It's got some heft to it.
I will wait to open it later.
Okay. Red, I'd say you make a circle at an hour, 2 hours, and then somewhere around your 3rd hour, you see Villis kind of sulking around.
Phyllis, hold on 1 second.
He was one of the 2 that were asking for insurance money from Eva.
Villis and Radrion, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine seeing your ugly mug around here. What are you up to?
Oh, fuck off, Red.
No, what are you doing?
You can tell right away. Let me see here. Oh yeah. With your passive, his eyes are bloodshot, his breath reeks of alcohol, and his clothing looks like he hasn't probably had any kind of a bath or anything, and probably outside of at least 2 or 3 days.
You reek. What are you doing?
And he just kind of, you can see he just looks defeated. He's just like, just trying to find Rad. He's been missing for like 2 days.
Radrion's been missing.
Yes. It's not like him. I
Well-
mean, yeah, he'll go on a bender, but usually takes me with him.
Jealous. Where did you last see him? Where was you supposed to meet?
But you stuck your stupid nose into our business. When got a little bit of drink and then went our ways for lunch and didn't see him since.
Or was he up to no good as usual? I mean, why am I even asking that? What no good was he up to?
I don't know. He was just said he had a job to go do. It's gonna be a good gold. They said he'd go by himself. I was like, whatever.
And did you see where he went?
I didn't
were
see
you
where he went.
Ah. Any other information?
What do you want from me? I'm not a bleeding oracle.
Did you not care where he went?
I mean, of course I care, but he said he was gonna take himself care of. You don't just follow a man for no good reason. Say you got
Yes,
something to
you
take
do.
care of, you go. Maybe you do, creep.
Yes, I do. Anyways, well, do you want me to find him or not?
You find him. Fucking punch him. Tell him I'm looking for him.
If I see him, I will send him your way.
Thanks.
Not a problem. I'm not a completely heartless bitch.
He just leaves. About a few moments after that, you hear the door open. You hear the clunk.
Lock that behind you.
Doctor just steps out. I said, sorry about the wait.
No, it's quite all right. We have a missing. I don't know that I would call him a villain, but definitely went up to no good.
Well, do you want to go look for him? Like I said, we won't be leaving town till morning.
I don't really have a lot to go on. Villis didn't really give me much. But
Well, what does he look like?
insert character knowledge here of what Radrion looks like.
She describes to you probably about 25, 30-year-old human male with kind of a shaggy brown hair, definitely cut by himself. A little more muscular and more of a bruiser, not probably super known for his brains, but in comparison to his usual buddy, known for his brains. As she goes on to describe this, you begin to realize you have seen this individual before. Probably about 2 hours ago.
Very, very intimately with this individual. I would look to her and go, well, let's go somewhere else when there's no one to listen in.
All right.
And I will let her lead the way to somewhere where she probably knows where we could talk without
being overheard. Yep.
When we get there, we'll take a moment and just kind of let out a sigh.
Don't tell me.
I'm afraid so. My first patient tonight.
Poor Villis. Well,
Did I know how he died?
You have no idea.
All right, wouldn't have noticed.
I would say, well, with your checks looking over it, looks like it was a singular stab to some vital organs.
It seems he may have met the wrong individual and paid the price.
Well, I don't know. I didn't ever have any real attachment to him. I told Phyllis that if I ever saw him again, I'd send him his way. Guess I don't have to worry about that now.
No, I can guarantee you won't see him, and if you did, you wouldn't recognize him.
Okay. Well, it works for me. Shall we go get drinks?
Yes, and while we're here, I'll take the pouch out and see how much I got.
There is 18 platinum pieces in it.
Ooh, buddy!
Well, got my first check, so drinks are on me.
About to make it hail in that tavern.
Right. That is much appreciated.
As you begin to find a place to look, give me an investigation check. And Eva, would you have gone out to perform to make a little bit of coin for
Yes.
yourself? Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
And it is up to Cassandra if she wants to come with, but it would be free food given the background that I have. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a whole 7.
Okay.
Would I assist in this or no?
You do not know the area.
Fair enough.
That is an
Apparently,
entire
she
7.
doesn't either.
Yup.
You're just, oddly enough, it just shakes you because you're like, this motherfucker just dissected a person I knew.
Mm.
And it shows no problems.
And
with
he
it.
got paid hella blood money to be fucking quiet. So the only place you can think of that is just in your brain is called Gundy's Gulps.
That sounds interesting.
You're welcome. I make all these tavern names just for the reactions.
There's a
You
place
head
near
to-
here called Gundy's Gulps that we could go to.
Works for me.
Christ, I just don't go to the bathrooms. There's holes all in it.
You head over to Gundy's Gulps, and it's that area that, as you traveled, you moved from where the warehouse is and where what would be considered the slums meets into a kind of a nicer area, and then you head back out as Red just kind of wanders, like a little bit lost in her mind, like, this motherfucker. And she leads you to, like, it's like around a corner, through an alley, down some steps. You actually begin to, like, a good bit of, and here in this part of the city, the cloud cover isn't as predominant as there is. Red, you would know this off the top of your head, and you would just know that there are a bit of arcane methods put in place to keep the whole of the island, at least certain parts of it, from being just covered in 20, 30, 40, 50 feet of thick cloud cover. Because when the island descends, it descends probably a good 100 to 200 feet to relieve the stress of the arcane runes. But you head through, and you get to this place that just has a sign hanging from one rusty hinge. At one point it was 2, but now it's 1. And it's just kind of swaying back and forth. It's like half cracked. You can barely read Gundy's Gulps. There's like a picture of a tankard on it. And there's some like happy character just jugging it down. But you head inside, and I will say that as you move inside, you look around a bit, and you see a familiar individual up on stage playing
See it?
whatever manner of song she wishes to describe. Miss Eva.
I am actually going to give you guys this. Because I don't know if it's copyrighted, so.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I love that
are,
song.
you are welcome to listen to that file she sent, but that is the music being played that is creating a very nice. Give me a quick performance check.
Oh god.
Oh no, he's
I'm
asking for
sorry.
rolls.
No,
23.
it's 23.
What Jesus, 23. It is.
It
It
would
is.
just be like rolling that one and be like, I'm sorry, I tried my best.
It is incredibly well played. Definitely you can see her talent lies with the lyre, and it is just the atmosphere is amazing here, even though the outside is a bit ramshackle. But the people here, they're just good people. Definitely individuals who look a little more commonly dressed, as you see as Drakex was. You definitely tell most of them are probably individuals who came in off skyships and are just went to the first dive bar they could find that was off the main beat and settled in.
Well, I guess when we notice this, we would just take a seat and listen. Or
Yeah.
at least the doctor
Okay.
would.
Yep, absolutely, Redwood.
DM,
Yes.
given what little you know, do you think Cassandra would have come?
I think this would definitely be a place you would feel safe enough to bring her, because you do know
Okay.
that I would say for this one here, given that you were at this particular one, because it is off that beaten path, it is off that main road. I would say
Then,
over time you probably have established a relationship with the owner, and
yeah.
while you don't reveal the full details, they just know she's got a kid, whatever, she plays great. We'll keep the kid in the back office and give him food.
Well, currently sitting at a table nearby is a young girl, probably about 10, that looks like a spitting image of Eva. She is having her dinner.
I would probably notice this and make the connection.
Both of you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
She's just sitting there with like a comically large plate and the big chicken leg.
The doctor would be sitting there kind of chuckling to himself about the situation.
Okay.
It's curious.
Wouldn't have pegged her the motherly type, but
No, but I.
no. To be fair, those wouldn't peg me the father type, so.
Mhm. I'm definitely not the mother type.
You'd be surprised, I guess.
All right. Well, as the song comes to a close, we will close our session there and see what
Ooh.
you all pick up on next week, as it is almost 9 o'clock tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I had fun. I hope all of my players did too.
I did.
Definitely did.
Had a lot of interesting things come to light today, so we will see what you all do with that knowledge.
Yes.
Well, if you enjoyed everything you saw here, please feel free to drop us a follow, come check out our socials, join our Discord. We'd love to have you there. If you love text-based role-playing games, such as, I believe, over there, you do follow 5e specifically. Is that correct? There's nothing else there.
Yeah, just 5e.
Okay, I just want to make sure I couldn't remember if there was or was
Yeah.
not other table systems there. But if you enjoy 5e tabletop role-playing text RP, feel free to check out the West Marches server.
Or if you're new to D&D and also want to learn how to play.
Same.
Yeah.
We do that at both servers. Both of them have that great community knowledge there. I would say West Marches is definitely a lot of really good people there. Here at
Mhm.
our main Discord channel for PhD, we definitely like to center ourselves on just having a good time and doing a lot of meme sharing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do, really.
Yeah, it is. But before we go, one last thing. If you enjoyed our content here, make sure you swing by on Sundays to check out the Twisted Perception stream, as it is headed up by the ever creative Ford and his lovely table, and I love watching to see what they get into.
Trust me, we have a lot of shenanigans.
A lot of them. But that's all I have for everybody. To my fantastic table, I just want to say again, take a moment. Thank you so very much for being a part of this. I am absolutely in love with all of the characters and all the things you have going on, and I look forward to seeing how everyone tells their character story. It's going to be a lot of fun. But until we get a chance to do it again next week, I hope all of you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing everyone come back. So have a good week, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Night.
Leaders.